Guys, good morning. So, there was a kid who was conducting a presentation in school in front of the parents. And the kid did the presentation and thought the presentation went off very well. And by the way, I believe the kid was around 10 years old at the time. So, after the presentation, the person was satisfied that the presentation went off very well. However, what he did was he approached his parents and asked, how did the presentation go? Now, parents said it was not up to the mark. From that day onwards, the kid was of the view that that kid is not a very good public speaker or is not very good at doing presentations. And this became anchored in his memory. It got parked in the memory. So every time thereafter he went on to do a public speech or to speak in public, there was a message in his head to say that he's not good, he's not good, he's not good, he's not good, he's not good. And the kid became 20 or 25. Even 15 years later, the person had a fear of public speaking. When he sat with a coach and when they jogged back in the memory lane, only they realized that this was the starting point as to how this got parked in his head to say that he's not a very good public speaker. Now, my point to you is this. Story was shared with the intention of asking you a question as to what are some of the negative beliefs that you have about your own self. Okay? Ask yourself the question. If you can jog back in your memory and ask yourself the question as to how did this all start off, probably that might be the starting point of finding a brand new self. Because sometimes what happens is some of these messages are told to us so many years ago, sometimes 20, 30, 40 years ago. For an example, let me share with you. How many of you guys have heard this statement where they say boys don't cry, crying is only up to girls? Now, that is a story that was told to so many boys when they are young. Would you agree with me when I say that? Now, what happens is that then it is parked in our mind that boys are not supposed to show their emotions. They are not expected to cry. They are expected to stay strong. And they are these people who doesn't have much emotions. So, what do? They come to workplace and they may even fire somebody and they would just say, mate, it's just business. Think about it. Where did this all start off for you? What are some of the negative beliefs that you have? So probably if you jog back in your memory, this may take some time as well as effort. And sometimes effort that you put in can be energy draining. I agree with you. However, if you can find out some of the negative beliefs that you have about yourself and figure out where did this all start off, maybe you will be able to start a brand new journey. Think about it, guys. Like I always say, just a thought. Bye.